Hey, this is Pizza Dude Man Guy. A couple months ago, I did a video challenging myself to come up with a potential echo to every Smash Ultimate character. Except, I didn't include DLC characters since we didn't know who they all were yet. With DLC Season 1 officially done, I'm expanding the challenge out to these 6 characters. If you haven't seen the original video, I'll link it at the end of this one. I'll be using the same rules as before. Number 1, I'm not allowed to skip any characters. Number 2, they must be from the same series as the base character. I made exceptions for this in the original video for series that had so few characters, but here, this shouldn't be a problem. And number 3, the echo has to make sense. They need to be close enough to the same size and shape as the original character to actually borrow from the model and exist as an echo in the first place, and be capable of using all of the base character's attacks in some fashion. Since there's only 6 characters this time, this should be quite a bit shorter, so let's get started. All Echoes Challenge. Piranha Plant. When Smash introduces characters, we oftentimes see an increase in that character's usage outside of Smash Bros. Are Mario games suddenly including playable Piranha Plant more? No. Instead, they introduced Fire Piranha Plant, the fire variation of Piranha Plant, and boy howdy does that sound like a perfect follow-up of Marth and Roy in Melee to me. Same basic attacks, but some with a fire effect. Replace the spike ball with a big fireball that's less powerful but bounces more, the poison breath becomes a fire breath, and maybe replace PD Piranha with a different Piranha Plant boss. Is this a bit of a joke, Echo? Sure, but it's for a bit of a joke character. And speaking of jokes, Joker. Like Xenoblade and Bayonetta, I am not experienced with Persona, so I got some advice from my friend Ninty. After a bit of deliberation, I'm settling on Crow, a phantom thief with the same general weapon setup as Joker, whose persona, Robin Hood, is also capable of using the curse skills that Joker and Arsene use for their side special. So, this should be a character choice that's reasonably able to emulate Joker's whole moveset by just visually replacing Arsene with Robin Hood. Change the final smash to Crow's Showtime attack, and we're all good to go. Hero. In Smash Bros., the hero is representative of all Dragon Quest heroes. They use spells and abilities from throughout the series and have different alts for different heroes. Who's left that we could possibly use as an echo for this type of character? Well, back when more people were anticipating Erdrick from Dragon Quest III specifically as the Dragon Quest character for Smash Bros., I had hoped Erdrick would be split into male and female alts, just like Robin, Corrin, and now Byleth, since you do get to make that choice in DQ3. So why not go all out with this idea as an echo? To match the hero, the heroine, featuring the main characters of Dragon Quest III, Dragon Quest IV, Dragon Quest IX, and Dragon Quest X. Same moveset, and perhaps a final smash that incorporates the rest of the series' female leads. Banjo and Kazooie. How do you copy a moveset that's as specific and unique as this duo? I've heard suggestions for Yuka and Laylee replacing eggs with berries, and that comes so close for me. It still doesn't account for the pecking attacks too well, and it breaks my desire to find something in the Banjo-Kazooie universe to use. Fortunately, in the multiplayer of Banjo-Tooie, you can play as multiple characters from throughout the game using their own bird in a fashion similar to Kazooie. Now, that's not to say they'd all be preferential choices to me. I'd much rather see Grunty do her own things than just copy Banjo's moveset, and I'm also unsure about highlighting an unnamed bird. My favorite character of this bunch is the Jinjo, who, instead of a bird, simply uses another Jinjo. Yep, this Jinjo can apparently shoot eggs from its mouth and peck with its nose. This doesn't account for wing attacks, but I think you could accomplish the same effect by just having the second Jinjo wave its arms in the same pattern. Here's what I'm envisioning. When you play as the Jinjo, it appears as a single, Banjo-sized character with no backpack. Then, for all the moves that would use Kazooie, another Jinjo simply appears in the appropriate spot to perform the move. A couple moves are slightly altered, like Wonder Wing just becomes a nose charge that can be used infinitely but has no invulnerability effect. And the name of the character is simply Jinjos. Different alts are different colors, which also swap around the color of the second Jinjo. Terry. Andy Bogard absolutely does not work. Terry's brother uses a completely different fighting style with his own special moves. However, there is another Fatal Fury character that would be almost perfect. Rock Howard, Terry's adopted son and a very popular character. Having been taught by Terry, he uses almost all of Terry's regular moves and has special moves that are basically variants of Terry's that could work as an Echo. They literally share Rising Tackle, then you could use Rage Run for Power Dunk, Shining Knuckle for Buster Wolf, Reipuken for Power Wave, Crack Counter for Crack Shoot, Raging Storm for Power Geyser, and maybe Hard Edge for Burning Knuckle. Along with a Neo Deadly Rave Final Smash, I think you could easily turn Rock Howard into a Ken-esque Echo for Terry Bogard. Technically an Echo, but with some notable differences. Byleth. Byleth uses not only the Sword of the Creator, a weapon very designated to them, but all of the major relics of Fire Emblem 3 houses. So an Echo would have to conceivably have access to all of these or similar weapons. Nemesis immediately comes to mind, but he's so much bulkier than Byleth, I don't think it'd work. Maybe. However, I think it makes enough sense to say that Seros herself, the saint that founded the land's religion, would be able to have, and to an extent, use the holy artifacts. It's justifiable at best, but compared to Nemesis, I think Seros' frame fits Byleth much better, not to mention the fact that Byleth and Seros have identical skill sets in 3 houses. And that's all the characters for now. I am very much looking forward to what characters are in store for us in DLC Season 2, and at the end of it, I'll catch up with another video like this. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time for the next character.